Yesterday, we started working with the idea of contour line drawing, and that contour line drawing is the basis for every drawing that we're going to do. And so I had you practice working with simply contour line and making a well-observed sketch. So I have my first one, and I went ahead and did a second one with the profile view of the skull. Regardless of how you feel like yours turned out, these, remember, serve as our baseline for learning how to draw more accurately. Today, we're going to build one of those accuracy skills, and we're going to talk about learning to draw by using a grid. So there are a few items in your kit that you're going to need to find. I am here in my sketchbook for this class. And I am just on the back side of my contour line drawing from yesterday. So you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need your ruler, you're going to need your tape, and you're going to need this clear plastic grid and a reference image of the skull. Whether that image is on the screen or on the paper is up to you, but I do have mine set up on the screen in front of me to draw from. So this is how I'm going to draw today. However you're most comfortable, it will work best for you. So I have step one here now. We're gonna save the tape for a little bit. I am gonna take my ruler, and I know there are a lot of little graphs on here, but there are still inch marks, and those inch marks are these, the heavier, darker lines with the numbers by them. Go figure, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line this ruler up with the top and the bottom of my sheet of paper, and I'm going to make a mark at each of those inches all the way down my page on both the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Then, after I've done that, and I've done that ahead of time just to save time here in the video, I'm going to line these up and make a line. What I'm doing is basically turning my sketchbook page into a giant sheet of graph paper. What this will do for me is allow me to see what is happening in each box and compare that to my reference image in each box, and hopefully will allow me to make a more accurate drawing because I will have a way to measure as I go. As you can see, I've drawn horizontal lines. Now I need to do the same vertical lines. I'm going to line my ruler up, and I'm going to put a mark at 1 inch all the way across, and at the top and also at the bottom. And then I'm going to connect those lines as well, so that, like I said earlier, I end up with a sheet of graph paper that has 1 inch squares on my sheet of paper. So this is one of several methods for drawing more accurately that I'm going to teach you. And it takes some of the guesswork out from yesterday in that it gives me some structure. So my graph paper here is done. I am now this will also enlarge my drawing. I have 1 inch squares here, and I have 1/2 inch squares on my grid. So everything is going to get 1 inch larger than on my sheet. What I'm going to do is, because I know that this is 9 inches wide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches wide, I am going to center. My 9-inch mark is here, and so I'm going to center my image on the screen inside that 9 inches. So I have roughly 2 inches on both sides. I am then going to take my tape and attach this grid to my Chromebook screen. So I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna tape this on here so that it stops sliding. I then also can see my drawing paper is 9 by 12. And so I've centered the skull in the 9 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it will definitely fit on my piece of paper. That is something I always want to check, especially being I'm going to be enlarging this image quite a bit as I'm moving it from my screen to my drawing paper. Now you'll see that up here we have numbers and down the side I have letters. I can also transfer that to my drawing paper. So I have that as reference as well. And maybe some of you remember doing this in a math class or just as a worksheet in elementary school where you transfer what's in the square to a new sheet of paper. Let's see, what do we have there? N, M, L. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm picking a square to begin my drawing, and I'm gonna start in square M4, and I can make a little mark. So I'm transferring now one grid square at a time. M4, it starts here and there's simply a line that goes to about half, and I'm just going to draw that line. The next one also goes to half. Now I'm in square L3, and L3 starts to angle down like to the 3/4 point. And so this is the way it goes. I'm going to simply draw the skull one square at a time, making sure that I'm in the right section. And this would work if I was using the grid on my sheet of paper as well. So here in J3, we start to have this, the eye socket comes down. And it goes halfway down I. Because then I here, we've got the zygomatic arch that starts, goes this way. This line also, I notice, continues through K kind of this way. And I could be doing this with my pen or my pencil. You'll notice as I'm drawing with the pencil, I'm not gonna go back and erase right now. I'm just working with, right now, basically what I'm doing is I'm just practicing learning how to draw with a grid, because this is a completely new concept. And I'm, noticing new things as I'm working this way. I am learning some completely new skills. And when I'm learning something new, my focus is always going to be not trying to decide if I'm doing it right or wrong, but instead like working my way through the process. And like I said, this is going to be one of several different methods we use to build our accuracy. And this one is a very successful one. It is, if you've had a Drawing One class, it's the one that we use in Drawing One for our self-portraits, so that our self-portraits end up really accurate and realistic. And this is the process that I'm going to use to just go ahead and continue this illustration, drawing one square at a time, looking at my computer screen and what's in the grid, moving it out here. Hopefully we end up with more accurate drawings than yesterday using a grid.